What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you all are having a very blessed and wonderful day because I'm here to give you all the lowdown on how to play and what to expect from Ultron's Battle Matrix Protocol, the new game mode arriving to my arrival. So let's jump right into it. Now, Ultron's Battle Matrix Protocol is an auto chess mode that will see you playing against either bots or other players, and the ultimate goal of this mode is to be the last player standing in a 6-player free-for-all match. Throughout the game, you're going to gain a resource which are called tokens that you can use to buy modules to enhance your team with different strengths and abilities, as well as do things like replace characters, which I will explain later on. Now, in the starting phase, after you load into the game, you'll reach the character select screen where you will see that at least half of the roster is missing. Now, this is definitely done on purpose. Do not worry, your game isn't broken, because I definitely thought the same thing myself. The starting roster of heroes to pick from is cut in half and randomized every game that follows a specific rule set, and there's no limit on who you can pick. But once you do pick, the lineup is locked, so that's who you'll have to start with, and then you can change them later on if you choose to do so. Now, you can run 3 strategists, 2 duelists, and 1 vanguard, 5 vanguards and 1 strategist, or even just outright 6 duelists. And team ups do also work in Battle Matrix as well, so that's another layer of thinking that goes into the overall process of playing this mode. Now we're going to move on to the module phase. In this phase, you're going to have a currency called tokens that you can use to buy modules to further enhance your team with different power-ups and abilities, like increasing the energy gain for your ultimates or increasing the overall healing output for your strategists. You start with 15 tokens each round, and winning a round gives you 2 extra tokens. Going on a winning or losing streak will get you additional tokens, and that goes up by 1 after each win or loss, capping out at 4 tokens after 5 straight wins or losses. Now, there is a total of 3 different module types that each have their own subsection, and they're called base, replacement, and strengthened modules. The base modules have 4 different protocols, which are called Protocol Fortress, Onslaught, Reboot, and Equilibrium. The way that these work is that they're all tied to a specific role. Fortress is for vanguards, Onslaught is for duelists, Reboot is for strategists, and Equilibrium affects all roles, and there's a threshold limit for these protocols. After buying a certain number of modules underneath a specific category, like Fortress for example, the threshold number will change from 10 to 20 and then 40, meaning that the protocol's level will upgrade and provide the team with an even higher bonus the higher the level, along with increasing the chances of getting higher rarity based modules in the shop, and I'll explain those in just a moment. Now, the protocols can be found on the left side of the screen with the current number of how many modules that you currently have for that protocol, and clicking on it will show the current level for the modules that you do have in there, along with the protocol bonus itself. Now, these modules come with vastly different effects, like reducing the enemy's healing output, increasing the strategist's maximum healing, reducing the enemy's damage output, and for each unique role, you can further reduce an enemy's healing output. Starting off, your modules will cost 5 tokens every time, but as you get further in the rounds, you'll notice that some modules will start to appear that will cost either 10 or 15 tokens. These are the higher rarity modules that I mentioned before, and they come with more powerful effects, like for example, Vanguards gain this much bonus health at round start, or Vanguards have a 40% chance to not consume energy with each ultimate ability used, meaning that you could possibly see a Magneto or a Captain America trigger their ultimate 3 to 5 times in one single round if they get that lucky. Now, as the rounds progress and you continue to buy these modules, you'll notice that they all have stars at the bottom of them. These stars represent the level of that module, so the more that you have, the higher the percentage on that module goes. Like for example, the strategists have an attack speed enhancement card that starts out at 8%. And the more of that card you buy, the higher that number goes, from 8 to 16 to 24 to 32% attack speed increase, and that just continues. Now, when you buy a module, you don't have to do anything extra in order to use the ability. All you have to do is simply just buy it, and the game will take care of the rest. But make sure that you buy it before the round starts, because if you buy it after, it will not take effect until the next round. If there's a module in your rotation that you don't like, or let's say you bought everything and you want more options, you can refresh the shop for 1 token to get 4 new modules. But be careful, because this brings me into the whole saving aspect when it comes to the currency. Unless everything you want or need is in that current lineup, make sure that you're at least saving a couple of tokens every round, because they carry over to the next round. Which means that if you don't, you will find yourself in a situation where there's a module that you need to buy and you're broke, which means that you either have to sell a module on the activated page that you already own in order to get the money back for it, or simply just wait until the next round. But here's a positive to that. If there's a module that you really want and you don't have enough to buy it, you can lock it, meaning that the next round, Whichever modules are locked won't refresh into new ones so you can buy it. Now, moving away from the base modules and onto the replacement ones, it's pretty simple. On the Change Heroes page, you have the option to pick from a random selection of heroes to replace any current ones that you have on the field, and this will cost 5 tokens every time. But please be mindful, if you pay to replace a hero and you don't go through with it, they will still take them 5 tokens from you. It ain't no refunds around here, so if you buy it, you better use it. Now, the last one to go over in this section are the strengthened modules, which can also be found on the left side of the screen. These are exclusive modules that drastically change how a hero can operate, and the only way to obtain these are after you fight Galactobots. Now, next to fighting players, you're going to fight Galactobots during rounds 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21 in the match. When you do, you'll get the option to select one of the strengthened modules presented to you, and once you reach round 11, you'll be able to pick 2 at a time instead of 1. Now, the effects on the modules are crazy and wildly different. Like, for example, Magic's Dance of Pain module reduces the cooldown of Stepping Disc by 2 seconds every time she takes damage, and she gets 200 bonus health every time she uses the ability. Rocket's Full-Time Medic module increases his repair mode fire rate and magazine capacity by 40%, extends the repair mode duration by 3 seconds, and raises the healing limit to 10 times. All heroes so far have a limit of 2 strengthened modules apiece, and in case you need a specific one like Penny's Field of Spider Nests that gives her 3 spider nests that she can put out, you can reroll for it, but you only get 1 reroll on these strengthened modules each time, so use it wisely. Also, if you happen to end up not buying a module because you got distracted, or you simply just didn't want any of the ones that you saw, the game will randomly choose and give you one out the lineup because you can't not pick one. But this will only happen for strengthened modules, so don't do that with the normal ones, otherwise you will go that round without buying anything. And speaking of random stuff, please don't be scared to change a hero with a strengthened module equipped, because if you do, the module will just randomly swap to a hero that's already on the field. For example, if you swap out a Psylocke and she has one equipped, that module will just now go over to Penny instead. Jumping over to the deploy phase, this is the whole second part of it. This phase is where you're going to be positioning your team around the battlefield, and placement is definitely important because this also ties into how the hero targeting system works. You normally will want to have heroes like Black Widow, Hawkeye, Namor, Luna, and Rocket in the back to mid area, while characters like Hawk, Hela, Spidey, and Panther are in the mid to front area. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this explanation up on the screen as well, just so you guys can keep up, or even take a screenshot in case you forget. But this is also in game, by the way, in case you ever need to take a look to refresh yourself. Now, there are 3 categories in terms of how the hero targeting system works. The first one contains characters who prioritize targeting the closest enemy. The heroes in this are Hulk, Doctor Strange, Groot, Magneto, Thor, Penny, Thing, Emma, Punisher, Storm, Human Torch, Hawkeye, Hela, Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl, Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Winter Soldier, Star-Lord, Namor, Iron Fist, Mantis, Rocket, Cloak and Dagger, Luna, Adam, Jeff, Invisible Woman, and Ultron. Now, the second category will feature heroes who target the lowest health enemy. This is Venom, Captain America, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Psylocke, and Scarlet Witch. The last category only has one person, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out who this is. This person only targets the highest health enemy, and that's Wolverine. So now that you know all of this, please make sure to keep this in mind as you're not only working on positioning, but also in terms of how you build your team compositions as a whole, and all active team ups like Jeff Nato and the Morse Gamma Squids also working here as well, so please remember to take advantage of that. Now, an example lineup would be like, for example, sorry, I didn't use that word too many times. An example lineup would be like having a Loki in the third row, Luna in the back line, you have a Namor in the third row next to Loki to help both the front and back line. Wolverine and Hulk can dive the closest enemy in the front, which would be the tanks, because that's usually where people place them in modes like this, and Venom can just outright dive the back line. This is not my team, by the way. This is Bootman's team. This came from a match that I was playing with a couple of homies in a test server. Now, just treat it like how you would a normal match of rivals, but please understand you have to put a bit more thought into it, because not every hero has the same target priority. You don't want to pick a team full of dive characters and then a healer, because while they all go jump in the back line to target the lowest health enemy, your supports are going to get died and then they're just done and you're going to lose immediately. So just be mindful of that when you're putting your team together. Moving on to the third phase, which is the battle phase. This is where all the action is. This is what you all have been waiting for, right? In the battle phase, there are two kinds of matches, and that's PvP and PvE, which are players versus Galactobots. Now, I already explained the PvE portion earlier, but I'll say it again just as a quick reminder. In the PvE matches, you're gonna fight Galactobots during rounds 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21 throughout the match. When you do, you'll get the option to select one of the strengthened modules that are presented to you. Now, when it comes to PvP, it's a bit different. When it's time to fight, players will be evenly matched against each other, and throughout the match, you will have the ability to move around and influence the fight through two abilities that are on your Ultron drone. You have a one-time heal and a one-time damage option that you can use each round. You can also use your primary fire to randomly shoot around, but that doesn't really do much. It's really just for show. Your abilities are the only thing that matters. Now, the match has a set time limit, and once it gets down to a certain amount of time left, double time will kick in, where it speeds up the gameplay in order to reach a result before time runs out. If you lose the match, you'll have points deducted from your total life points, and if the match is in a tie, both players will lose points, but it will be significantly less than what you would have lost in an outright loss. If someone loses or leaves early, creating an uneven number of active players, you'll fight a phantom version of their team. If you lose, you'll lose health. If the phantom loses, nothing happens because it's not a real person. On the right hand side, you will see a list of players, and underneath their names, it will show you how many wins or losses they currently have and how many tokens that they have to spend. And when your match is over, you can also spectate other player matches by clicking on their name, and you can not only see their progress, but also what modules they currently have equipped. Now, you can also check in on other players at any point, period, but if you do so specifically during the module or deploy phase, you can also see how they have their team set up and who they currently have in case they sub somebody out and you're trying to keep track on who the most troublesome person is for you to deal with. Now, if you click on the stats option with the number 2, which is also on the right hand side, this will show you the stats for the last battle with how much damage the characters both did and blocked in their overall health. And you can also look at this for the other players as well. For whoever you're end up spectating, just go over to their name, make sure you're in their arena, click the stats, and then it will show you. Now, when your total health hits 0, you are eliminated from this point forward, and your placement is based on the order you died in. For example, if you died in 4th place, you finish in 4th place. Now, from this point, you can either leave or watch the rest of the match, but the entire match is not over until one person is left. However, you will still get your rewards, so don't be too upset about leaving early. Now, these matches, depending on where you place and how you do, can be anywhere from 15 minutes to even 30. So please be prepared to be in the match for quite a bit. With that being said though, this brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully this video was able to give you all some kind of insight on how this mode is played, and hopefully it makes things easier for you. Let me know down in the comments below, how do you like it? Do you want the mode to stay? What would you want to see changed? And if you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe in order to support the channel. And please hit that notifications bell so you'll never miss out on any of my Marvel Rivals related content. And I will catch you all in the moonlight. Peace.